So I had written about this, but I received a lot of questions, so I wanted to follow up with this take here. In Switzerland, there is no such thing as a Swiss crypto license. There's a fintech license which relates to banking, but as it relates to ICO activity and crypto exchange activity, there is no specific license or statute that governs that, right? And what's notable about Switzerland is that there's actually very little in terms of actual legislation or definition or discussion about digital currency, right? There is some, in a kind of an arcane manner, there's some discussion about virtual currency being an asset, okay? And there's some further delineation in the statute about utility tokens versus security tokens versus currency tokens, right? But all that kind of draws you back to is the Swiss anti-money laundering statutes, right? And the necessity for financial intermediaries to follow the AML laws when they're engaged in, amongst other activities, the deposit of assets, the custody of assets, and the investment of assets, right? So from there, you take the definition of the recognized definition of virtual currency in Switzerland as an asset, and you apply it to financial intermediation, which is one of the three activities I just discussed. And then it brings about the requirement for a financial intermediary license. And there's two levels to that. One is sort of a banking level, and the second is the financial intermediation that relates to custody and what I just mentioned as it relates to custody, investment, and transfer of assets, right? And the AML requirements that go along with it. So for those purposes, if you want to engage as, either a crypto exchange, OTC desk, or even conduct an ICO, you need to become a financial intermediary. And the financial intermediary process, right, can go through either FINMA, which is the financial regulator in Switzerland, or a number of designated SROs, right, and self-regulatory organizations, which they themselves are registered with FINMA and have a license, so to speak, to act as this quasi-regulatory body. And in my experience, becoming a financial intermediary through an SRO is ideally the way to go. Considerably easier, considerably less expensive, considerably less time consuming, and just overall more beneficial for purposes of becoming a financial intermediary. And then that licensure process, which can take up to 6 months, is pretty basic as it relates to any offshore license, especially in the crypto space, right? I liken it a lot to obtaining a Bermuda digital asset business license, just because the process is very similar, the application is very similar, the requirements of a business plan, personal disclosures, financial statements, and the like are all very much the same and similar. But that's the license that you need to get, a financial intermediary license, if you want to deem yourself to be holding a Swiss crypto license or anything of that nature, or conduct the activities of either crypto exchange, a OTC desk, or even an ICO out of Switzerland. And there's some benefits to Switzerland, obviously, right? It's a very robust banking system, tax advantaged and the like, and it's well regarded in the financial industry. So there was reasons to get it. With the capital requirements being 100,000 Swiss francs, it's not the cheapest, obviously, right? You have to be well capitalized to obtain it, but it's certainly plausible and certainly notable and well respected amongst many people in the compliance and legal industry and crypto. So something to look at, but to clarify, the Swiss crypto license isn't really a thing, right? The Swiss financial intermediary license, which covers a whole host of other activities, which is interesting about the license because it allows you to do different functions, right? Not related to crypto, if you were so inclined to do. That's really the license that you need to be obtaining if you want to operate legally inside Switzerland. So that's my take and clarification on the illusory Swiss crypto license. If you have any questions, definitely hit me up, Adam at Tracy, TRACY.io, and I'll be happy to answer them. Talk to you soon.